Hello race fans, and thank you for joining me at my web channel. I'm VR Stuntman, and I'm going to be bringing you the race action from round 11 of the Trophy League at vrroom.org, and this is being held at the Nürburgring GPD track. That's the shorter track, not the F1 track, but the track they use for Formula 3 and DTM. And on pole position again we have Carlos with another super qualifying. Raptor has qualified second, backing up his really strong form at this track. Stuntman third, the championship leader. JK fourth, Exeter fifth, N10 sixth, and it's Genobi, Slicker, Rick, Loki and Turner. So I'm going to focus to start with on JK. He's second in the championship, but he's slipped to 20 points behind, so he really needs to win the last couple of races and hope Stuntman doesn't do too well. Right, so let's get on with the action. This is, as I say, JK in the red car. We've got Stuntman in the orange to our left. Ahead of us is Raptor. Great start from Raptor. He's got a run on Carlos, and he's got the inside line as well, so it looks like Raptor into the lead. Stuntman moves to the right. We're going round the left. Whoa, and that's... Oh, there's a couple of cars collected Stuntman, and Stuntman spins across in front of JK. So it's all gone horribly wrong for Stuntman and JK on the first corner of the first lap. And JK has damage on the front right. Stuntman damage front right and rear right. So let's rewind that and let's go on board. It looked like Exeter was one of the cars to hit Stuntman there, so this is Exeter. Good start. See the cars moving to the right a little to defend a bit on the inside coming into turn one. Exeter on the brakes and tries to turn inside Stuntman, but he was hit by N10. So let's see what happened there. N10's point of view. Revving these cars out, spinning up the wheels before changing gear. And N10 just late on the brakes, and he managed to hit just about everybody there, N10. But carries on in fourth place now, third. We're going to go on board with Turner up to ninth after two cars spun out the first corner as we come up through the Mercedes arena, right on the back of Rick. The two devil yellow cars ahead of them, and Turner going around the outside of Rick. Nice move, Turner. And he's attacking Loki now into the hairpin, but no way through. Bit of bumping and banging there, possibly a bit of lag as well. And Turner up to 8th place. Now we're going on board with N10, so N10 is up to third. And Carlos off ahead of us. And I think Raptor may have touched the gravel as well, but Carlos dropping places. Here he is, he's down to fourth, so N10 goes straight through and into the lead. He's had a lot of luck at that corner at this track in this league, if I remember rightly. So N10 leads from Raptor, Exeter, Carlos and Slicker. Right, now we're on board with Stuntman at the back, but he's caught up with the back of the pack. That's JK tapping Rick. And Rick slides into Turner because of that, which costs Turner the place, and JK is on the attack. So let's have a look at that from JK's point of view as we plunge down to the first corner for the second time. And turning in, and just nudges into the back of Rick, and the two cars spin, and JK was hit by Stuntman there. I don't think Stuntman had anywhere to go. We'll have a look at that from Stuntman's point of view. So that's Stuntman and JK getting together inadvertently again, twice in 2 laps at this corner. See, Rick gets sideways, JK nudges him, they both spin, and Stuntman just clips the back of JK's car. So JK, let's have a look at his car. He's now got front and rear right damage, same as Stuntman, exactly the same damage. So we're going to go on board with Carlos now in 4th place. Ahead of us is Exeter. Exeter, of course, racing with home advantage. He's raced he lives in Germany, so he's a German, so should know the Nürburgring very well. And Carlos going around the outside, and Carlos, great move by him, up to 3rd place as he comes through the critical bit curve. Is he going to go wide? He runs right up the curb, but misses the gravel. So Carlos up a place there. Let's have a look now from JK's point of view as we come down. JK learning to drive this car with the damage to both right wheels. Oh, and he's locked up under braking and off at the chicane. So all gone horribly wrong for JK. He's now dropped some way off the back of the pack and he's pitting. And JK, this is probably his championship over unless he gets yellow. Oh my word, he's done a coulthard straight into the pit wall, and it's all over for JK. I think he needed to take points out of Stuntman to stay in the championship. So JK into the pit. So I'm going to go on board with Raptor and just rewind to the start of this lap 3. So Raptor in 2nd place, chucking it sideways into turn 1. Carlos is behind us. This is the rear view. Oops, the Exeter running a bit wide. 4th place, Exeter. 5th place is Slicker going very well. Ginobili 6th. Ginobbili's pulled away from Loki and has caught up with Slicker. Let's have a look at that. So this is Slicker looking back at Ginobili into the hairpin on lap 3. Oh, and Slicker lighting up the rear tyres, getting sideways, and Ginobili's got a good run on us. Slicker defending through the all-important bit curve, and Ginobili with a run. Slicker's off. Oh dearie me, and he's still struggling. That's Loki just gone past, and he manages to keep it out the barrier, and Turner and Stuntman through, and Slicker rejoins ahead of Rick. So that all went horribly wrong for Slicker there. He lost loads of places. Going to ride on board with Stuntman now. So, and a mistake from Turner and Stuntman on the inside, but he's struggling to get the power down with those damaged wheels. And Turner stays in 7th place as we start lap 4. Let's go on board with the leaders, see what's happening up front. This is Carlos's point of view. He's caught right onto the back of Raptor, who runs a bit wide there. Carlos looking to the inside through the Mercedes arena, but runs a little bit off the track there, which gives him the dirty tyres, and he drops back a bit. So it's N10 leading from Raptor and Carlos. Right, we'll stay on board with Carlos now, and he's getting back onto the tail of Raptor. Carlos is definitely the fastest driver in this championship. He's unfortunately missed the first few rounds, so he's not really a championship contender. In fact, Stuntman only needs to finish 9th to knock him out of the championship. But Carlos has scored, on average, his race positions have been best. So into the chicane, using plenty of curb, and Carlos now beautifully placed for an overtake. And bit of a mistake there, so Carlos drops back off that second place again. There's a car in the pits. That's JK. He's retired from the race, so that is definitely his championship over as far as winning it goes. And Carlos will have his sights set on second place in the championship with this race. So we're now on lap 5. Let's go on board with Raptor, looking at N10. N10's usual sideways style ahead of us. Swap to the outside view. Raptor through the smoke. These three pulling well clear now. Still Exeter 4th, with Shinobi not far behind him. Then we've got Loki in a lonely 6th. Stuntman still stuck behind Turner, so Turner 7th, Stuntman 8th. Then Slicker and Rick. And Raptor all over N10 now as they go through the chicane. We ride on board with Stuntman, who is trying to go around the outside at the chicane. Two abreast racing from Stuntman and Turner. Turner once again gets the power down better out the tight corner, and Stuntman forced to wait a bit longer to pass. In the background you can see Rick is right behind Slicker, battling for 9th place, and Rick with a good slipstream down the straight and has a look into turn 1 and doesn't quite make it. Slicker bolts his line nicely. So lap 6 now, and we've got a change. We've got Carlos is up to 2nd, so I'm going to rewind just to the start of this lap, and Carlos got the slipstream and passed into turn 1 on the brakes. So Carlos now up to 2nd. Can he go one better and take another win? Oh, and that's a mistake from Raptor. He lost the back and slid into the wall, and that's done damage. So damage to his front right. Front right's taken a bit of a beating in this race. Let's go back on board with Rick, see how he's getting on with trying to get past Slicker. Slicker in the purple, Rick in the pink, and Rick is trying to make a move here. Rick nicely placed. Now if you can get a good run through this curve, he'll get the slipstream all the way down the straight and make a move. Yeah, that's a lovely run through bit curve. He's got a bit of extra speed coming out the corner and a bit of slipstream. And Rick up the inside through Hatzenbeck and later on the brakes, and runs a bit wide though. There's side by side coming out the corner, and Slicker holds on to the place. Good racing from those two. So that's 6 laps gone, 4 to go. And we've got to change. Stuntman is ahead of Turner. Let's see how that happened. Where did that happen? There we go. So this is also down into the chicane, and Turner makes a mistake, just runs wide, and then gathering it all up, runs wide into the second part of the chicane and loses a lot of ground. So Stuntman up to 7th, Turner down to 8th. So we are now on lap 7. Let's have a look at Carlos, who's now in the lead. How did that happen? That happened into turn 1. No, it didn't. It already happened. Oh, sorry about this. Here we go. So how did Carlos do it? Why does everyone pass at the same place on the same lap? It makes my job really hard. So this is Carlos with a good run through bit curve. They pulled away a little bit from Raptor. Raptor getting used to his the damage on his car, and Carlos chucks it up the inside and brakes later than N10 and gets the job done. Excellent move from Carlos there. So N10's had a few laps in the lead. He's having a look at passing it back, but the door is firmly shut in his face. So Carlos leads with 4 laps to go. Right. So I'm gonna ride. Let's look at the rear view from Carlos. Defending into turn 1. And these two are slowing each other down a little bit, which is enabling Raptor to get back on them. Oh, further back we can see there's a battle between Exeter and Genobi. So plenty of tyre smoke into turn 1. Haven't seen much of these two, so we'll ride on board with them for a little bit. So Genobi looking to make a move through the Mercedes arena through Ford curve here. Ooh, Exeter using all the track into the hairpin. See Genobi understeering through the middle of the hairpin there behind us. Then oversteer into Kumo, and this is the critical corner for if you want to make a pass. And good run through there from Genobi. He's nicely placed in the slipstream. Got the run. Exeter defends. Genobi forced to go the long way round, and thinks better of it. And Genobi going around the outside at the second part of the chicane, and Genobi is through. Great overtaking manoeuvre from Genobi. Now I'm going to go on board with Raptor in 3rd place. Starting lap 8. N10 ahead of us in the white car. Carlos ahead of that. Lock up from Carlos and Raptor. Oh! No, that was just a bit too late on the brakes, and that's done damage to the other front wheel on Raptor's car. Let's just check N10 with that right front damage that most of the field has picked up now. Whoa, big sideways from N10. He'll be getting used to the car. You can see him twitching there down the straight, N10, as he gets used to braking with that damage. Raptor's car, he'll have more understeer with that car now, but that, whoops, right, that's what I thought. But at least it should be fairly even across the front axle with damage on both parts of the axle. Field's starting to spread out again. We've got Carlos easing away at the front. Then we've got this battle for 2nd. Then 4th is Genobi. 5th, Exeter, dropping away from Genobi. Loki still on his own, as is Stuntman. Turner 8th, Rick 9th, and Slicker 10th. This is the closest battle. So what I'm going to do is just follow round a lap on board with Raptor, who's a bit of an expert at this track. So crossing the start-finish line, absolutely flat out. Difficult braking into turn 1 here. Got to pick your point, try not to lock up. It's slightly downhill, and it's very easy to lock up. You kind of want the tail to drift into that corner. Now through the Mercedes arena, this is an incredibly long curve. Got to pick your apex roughly in the middle of it. Now this one is very tight. Now, normally want to hug the left as you come out of that one into full curve here, so you get a good sweeping run through forward, because there's a short straight into the hairpin. This corner sort of goes undulates slightly, and that can cause the car to understeer or oversteer, or even both at different points of that corner. N10 running wide as we go through Kumo and Bit, kind of a sequence, and mistake from N10 there. He just got too sideways through Bit curve, and that's given Raptor a run, and that just shows you how important it is to get a good run through Bit curve, because you can lose so much time if you don't. So Raptor up and into the chicane. A little bit of a nudge on the back. Oh, and a small mistake from Raptor, spinning up on the curbs, but he stays in second place. So that is a lap with Raptor. And Raptor now has rear damage after that collision with N10, so he's got 3 damaged wheels. So he's definitely leading that race. Stuntman in second with 2 damaged wheels. So it's the last lap. This is N10's view. He's got 2 damaged wheels now, N10, 2 front wheels. Ooh. And ahead of us, Carlos in the red car pulling away with the only undamaged car. Quite a lot of rear tyre wear on N10's car, certainly more so than the others, and that's why he's sliding so much towards the end of the race, I think. Going to go on board with Rick. This is the other closest battle. He's caught Turner a bit, so halfway around the last lap now, and Rick isn't that far ahead of Slicker still. Whoa, big moment for Turner coming out the hairpin, so that's given Rick a run. Rick throws it sideways through Kumo, but this is a critical curve, Bit curve. Can Rick get a good exit through here? Turner didn't quite hit the apex, and that's given Rick a bit of a run on him. Rick faster and in the slipstream. Can he make the pass? Meanwhile, Carlos is just crossing the line to win the race, but I'm going to stick with these two because we've got a bit of a fight to the finish here. Rick with a good run through the chicane. He's now right on the rear bumper of Turner, having a look to the inside. Turner shuts the door, and it looks like Turner's going to hold on to that place. So good racing from those two. So your final results: first Carlos, second Raptor, third N10, fourth Ginobili, Exeter 5th, Loki, Stuntman 6th, Turner 7th, Rick 8th, Slicker 9th, and JK 10th. And that hands the championship to Stuntman, so well done him. We'll just have a quick look at the timing screens. I just swing the camera for you so you can see the best laps, and the fastest lap 140.9 to Carlos, the only one in the 140s. Next fastest is a 41.4 to Raptor, 41.5s for N10 and Ginobili. I've been VR Stuntman. I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast. If so, catch up with me for round 12, the final round of the championship, which will be at the Indy Road Course. If you've enjoyed watching this video and you fancy a bit of this sort of action, please join us at www.vrroom.org.